We'll call the Thursday, April 9th council meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. Please rise to cite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, roll call. Pam Conley is absent. Mr. Gross.
Here.
Braden Marvel is resigning. Mrs. Powell.
Here.
Renee Race is excused. Mrs. Rudy.
Here.
And Lisa Atchison, Mayor, is here. Can I get a motion to excuse Renee and was it just Renee? Just Renee. To excuse Renee?
I'll make a motion to excuse Renee from the meeting tonight as she let us know.
I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. 4-0.
Minority.
We've come to the public comments portion of our meeting. The council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comment and public hearing portions of the agenda. However, council policy is to hear the public comment, not to act on the public comment at this time. Concerns brought before the council during the public comment portion of the agenda will be referred to the city manager for action. If after communicating with the city manager, no resolution is reached, the concern will be elevated to the mayor and then eventually to the council for action. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda and non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during the council meeting that citizens are allowed to address the council. Please state your name and address for the record if you would like. Okay.
Something as old as I am, right?
I don't know if any of you have ever read the Cedar Springs story. It's a wonderful, wonderful book about our history. And since we are moving into a new city hall, this would be our 4th city hall. And I just wanted to give you a little history about our first city hall, 2nd and 3rd, which we're in now. The Cedar Springs became a city by vote on 8 p.m. December 14th, 1959. So they had to have a city hall. And down behind where like the library is and so forth, there was a livery, tool storage, and anything you want to name. So they decided to make that city hall. And it was an unopposing building. And so what reminds me of that is when I was a kid, I came to town with my grandma and we went down this like gravel road and this 2-track kind of behind back in there. And there's this shack. And I says, Grandma, what are we doing here? And she says, oh yeah, do business here at City Hall. I go like, oh, okay. So I've never forgotten that. And I've talked to other people who had been there and they thought it was kind of crazy. Jerry got his first driver's license there, and it was Secretary of the State. So the second one, according to the book, was at Sue's Country Kitchen, which was also a stable of some kind. Everything was a stable. Horses were not very far in the antique world. So they were there for a year. And then they bought this building in 1966 for $25,000. And it was an auto repair to the back. Well, this was part of the back at that time. And then in the front, the offices were perfectly suited for the city hall at that time. I believe there was like 2 or 3 offices.
There was a dealership also. The side doors where you enter, that used to be the approach where they could pull a car in and park it up in the front lobby. So,
But then that turned into our city hall. Thank you, Jerry. This turned into city hall. And the actual meetings were held out in that area. That was before they put in the bathrooms and extended those other offices in there. And that was in 1996. So this is where we've been. Room here since 1996. Can anybody do the math on that? Is that 30 years? Okay, so on we go to our new and beautiful city hall. Pretty proud of coming from that little shack. And I also read that the folks who were kind of taking care of the village had their paperwork here and there. And so they brought it to Walt Telford, who was the city clerk. And he, in bushel baskets, they brought him all their paperwork and he had to straighten all that out. And there were no city manager. It was just a couple of guys got together every morning and figured out what needed to be done.
Bushel baskets to.
No.
Up, they've got crates.
Yeah. So that was the end of my story.
Anybody have anything, want to make any comments? Anybody online? Raise your hand or unmute yourself, please. No? Okay. We'll move to the adoption of the agenda. And I get a motion to the agenda with a change under action items. We're going to add a C. Alice is resignation. Can I get that motion? Anybody?
I'll make a motion to accept C under action items.
Support? Anybody?
I guess she probably shouldn't support it. No, it's just- She's causing it.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. 4-0. All right, we're on can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? Oh, hold on, I'm running too fast.
Want to clarify, I think Mrs. Powell's motion was to just modify the agenda. You would need to adopt the agenda. So
Adopted also, yeah.
Should I run the motion again? Okay.
Agenda with changes.
Okay, I will make a motion to adopt C in our action agenda items. What do I do now?
to approve the agenda as amended.
I approve the the motion as amended.
Second that.
Okay, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
We're on a roll, Rose.
I'm done.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support that motion.
Right, let's do roll call for that one because it has money. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Atchison votes yes, 4-0. And then we're on to the action items. Motion to approve Braden Marvel's resignation effective immediately.
I'll make the motion to approve Braden Marvel's resignation effective immediately.
A second. Any discussion?
Only that I thought he was a very nice young man, and I enjoyed working with him through the months that we worked together.
I also, because we're having these resignations doesn't mean we're hard to work with. We are actually really easy to work with. They just have other things happening. So that's what's going on. Okay, let's roll call. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mrs. Rudy.
Yes.
Miss Atchison votes yes, 4-0. Motion to approve the balance of items for the new city hall, an amount not to exceed $133,803.47.
I'll make the motion to approve the balance of the items for the new city hall in an amount not to exceed $133,803.47.
Second it. Mrs. Rudy.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Ms. Atchison votes yes, 4-0. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Mrs. Alice Rudy immediately, right? Effective tomorrow. Excuse me.
I will make that motion.
I'll second that motion. Can we have a discussion for?
Sure. And discuss it.
Hey, Alice, I didn't get to spend much time with you, but I've really enjoyed just the time we had together, and thank you for serving our city.
Privilege is my honor.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, well, take care.
I agree with everything she said. It was a pleasure. And you gave sound thought into everything that you voted on and gave consideration to. And that is appreciated. Okay.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mrs. Rudy.
Yes.
Miss Atchison votes yes, 4-0. On to the discussion items. Who is going to speak on the draft budget?
I'll start. I don't know if Emily wants to maybe add when I'm done. So March 19th, we presented a budget to the public and you all for $8,174,840. Nothing has changed since then. So it's the same budget we talked about in quite lengthy detail, March 19th. So, nothing new to add. Is there any questions or?
I do have one question. The budget for the Red Flannel is $5,000. And that is a nonprofit entity. And the budget for the bike race was over $8,000, and that's a profit. If I remember that correctly.
Red Flannel, I thought was 7,000 or 8,000.
Yeah, between 7,000 or 8,000 and the bike
Yeah.
race was
1,500.
less than.
Well, okay, I totally mixed up. Okay. Well, sorry, I just got mixed up on it apparently. Okay.
I didn't remember it quite the way you stated it, but
Well, good thing.
I don't have those numbers in my head anyway. It's millions of dollars and stuff. That's just,
A lot of things.
Yeah, so it looks like Red Flannel Festival, we're proposing $7,500, which the current year budget we're in now was 7,000. So it's going up a little bit. And then the bike race is $1,500, which is the same as the current year budget.
Yeah, I must have really been thinking about something else. Other than that, it was great.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to communications. Do we have anything?
Couple community event applications in your packet there. The 2025 Skinner Field Annual Report, I thought that was very informative. That's the second year they've given us all that detail. And then I noticed in their minutes from March 18th, they're gonna have a clean up Skinner Field and that whole area, April 17th. So if you're available, I'm sure they would appreciate the help. You probably saw the email, the Cedar Springs Chamber of Commerce is dissolving. Very unfortunate to see, but understandable.
Darla, is there any chance in the future that maybe the DDA could have a subcommittee to say maybe take over some of the very wonderful events that the chamber did, say like the Christmas parade or the spectacular, maybe the Heritage Park? They aren't expensive and they're pretty simple. I don't know about the dropping of the ball, and see if any, if DDA might be interested in sponsoring some of those events.
Talk with Perry Hopkins about what events he had hoped would continue. The ones you had mentioned, Halloween, the Christmas parade, I thought maybe staff and I could continue those. Like you said, there's not a large budget. It's, advertising, Halloween spectacular. I mean, that's grown to thousands of people. I don't see how we cannot have that. So, yeah,
I hope we can do something.
yeah, for sure.
I have one question. Was it just a lack of interest of the business owners?
65 members, but only 3 or 4 showed up routinely to do the events.
That's pretty much normal with any group like that. Okay, that's why I was wondering what prompted it. It's a shame to see it go. So
Agree.
their input is important. So
All right. Do we need to talk anything about any of the community events? Are we okay with that?
No, we're good.
Department reports, city manager, Mrs. Falcon.
Just a show again tonight. We had our walkthrough and progress report, this progress meeting this afternoon. It is looking really, really nice. We're down to like literally the last 7 to 10 days. So we have our punch list walkthrough next Thursday, a week from today. So everything should be buttoned up by then, but there is a couple days after that allowed for anything else that needs to get done. There. So that's the council table in the front there, the new dais and that's a 3D on the wall there. It looks really nice. It actually portrays out. That's okay. No, that's the main kitchen area. So we still need our appliances, but they're ordered. They're on their way. Still further picture of the council room. That's the women's bathroom. So we have the white subway tile kind of halfway up the wall. Or is in, but a whole lot more still needs to happen in the restrooms. That's looking into the conference room on the left and the council room on the right. Just really like that wood trim and all the doors out front there. They look really nice.
Is that off the lobby?
Yeah. Yep, right in the front doors. That's the front area, like utility billing, cashier area. Every couple weeks, a little bit more detail is happening, so. That's our workroom. We'll have our copy machine in there and supplies and a whole bunch of stuff in there. That's just one of the offices on the far east side. Carpet's done, ceiling tiles are in, walls are all painted. And we do have shades on the windows that come down. Morning sun on that side, so we like to see the sun. That's the hallway of offices on both the left and right there. That's DPW's workroom. /kitchen. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. And then just a picture of the outside, just showing those Beautiful windows and been really nice.
Something I've forgot to ask in the past, what do they figure the parking capacity is on the parking lot?
That's a good question.
Sorry, I asked. I just, obviously, it's better than what we've got out back here right now, but I was just curious because on occasion, things get a little busy in the office, so. Okay,
We've got 50 easily. Or
Is that the only entrance off of 17?
yes.
So like DPW can't get to the back a different way. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I just wondered. That's what I thought, but
We are going to, so part of this motion tonight was to mill and repave part of that front parking lot area out front. We're gonna widen the entrance. The entrance will actually be an in and an out. Because the exits right now, when you turn left, you're like right into that White Pine Trail crossing. So we're gonna close them, put new curb up there, widen the entrance, and then yeah, DPW would all enter through the back, through Cedar Street. Okay.
okay.
Will we be bringing a red flannel town mural?
That hasn't been decided yet.
Who gets to decide it? The drawing from the Red Flannel Town Festival there. I'd be glad to bring it over if you want me to. Would look beautiful in that lobby, really. The great big lobby, and
a matter of the right placement, okay? Whether it's in the lobby or whether it is part of our history, okay? So, it would be nice to be seated over there, wherever, in the council room, wherever you're gonna put it.
I'd like to see it in the lobby where it'd be one of the real important things you can see when you walk in. Whether you get to the council room or not, you'd still see that part of our history.
Is that all you got?
All I have.
City Manager, Mrs. Johnson.
Been a busy month for me. The DDA is continuing to work on their demolition and revitalization grant program. We have a subcommittee meeting often to develop the rules and requirements, application processes, and so forth. We meet again on April 20th at 11 a.m. here in this building. And then we do have our April DDA meeting canceled because we anticipate being closed for the move to the new building. So those are a couple updates from the DDA. The mass notification system is up and running, so anyone interested in signing up for that, there's a banner right on our homepage on our website. You can sign up for as many of the notification subjects as you would like, or as few. But we have seen people sign up for that, and it's going well. We'll continue to try and push that information out to the public to get them signed up. Other than that, has been busy with FOIAs in the last 30 days. We had an insurance claim at the fire station that we worked through. And then we've also onboarded our new IT, BlackRock Technologies, that was onboarded as of April 1st. You guys should see emails in your emails letting you guys know. They do have a little bit of a sense of humor. So it's kind of nice to see, a little bit of personality. But that's going well. And then again, we're onboarding our new cleaning service as well in the new building. So busy month.
DPW. Tanya, are you?
Hi. So for the month of March, we cold patched a bunch of the streets, which it's not staying in very well with all the rain. Picked up down branches. We removed the tree that fell in the Cub Scout cabin at Morley Park. Cleaned up the leaves in the dog park. Started cleaning up at the cemetery. Excuse me. Cleaned up storm drains, checked sewer lines, replaced a few of the street lights on Main Street and at Heritage Park, and then cleaned up plow damage around town. About it. Any questions?
Nope, I think we're set. Thank you.
Thanks.
Law enforcement, Sergeant Paulson.
Going well at the sheriff's department. Thought it was really neat. The gals at City Hall found a lot of the old Cedar Springs badges and some memorabilia and stuff from the police department. We gave that to the museum to put on display, so that's nice to have that still in town. I thought it would be appropriate to share my first experience here at City Hall. Thanks for sharing, Ms. Powell, the history at the other city halls. 18 years ago, I wanted to be a police officer so bad. And Cedar Springs Police is the department that gave me a chance. So I remember being sworn in this very room here, and I worked night shift, and I just remember doing laps and laps and laps in town in my old Crown Victoria. I'd come in at like 3 in the morning and have lunch, and then hit the street again and do 100 more laps before the end of my shift. So I very vividly remember the smell of the DPW garage, and it still smells the same way today. And it's not a bad smell. It's just a smell that reminds me of. Yeah, there's not any. So
Diesel.
very good memories. And I still remember all those memories every time I come in through the DPW garage. So very excited for the new facility, but I will miss this building.
Mm-hmm.
Who was
your
chief at that time?
Brent had just retired, I think. That's all I have.
Can I ask a question? How is the sheriff doing that? Had to respond to our call?
Yeah. So that was last Friday. I checked in on everybody that night. Obviously they were struggling. You know, that's one of those type of calls that it's hard on everybody. It's hard on the first responders, the fire department, the ambulance, and the deputies. So we had an internal debriefing yesterday. So there was, I think 16 people at the sheriff's department that all had some sort of involvement with that case. So they set up, you know, tables in a circle, and they all talked about it. So that was therapeutic and helpful for them. So, but yeah, I talked to some of them again today, and obviously it's one of those things where it's just, you know, it's horrible, but I would say they're doing well.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. Hey, fire department,
Yeah,
fire chief Detla.
a difficult month. We have our critical debrief tomorrow, so we're gonna go through the same thing because, you know, health is important, both mental and physical. Thankfully, it's been a slower month, and even all the way up through the beginning of the year, we're down almost 22% for our calls for the year, which is a good thing. We can get that down going through. Otherwise, we're just in the middle of our maintenance contracts, going through all of our maintenance stuff, getting all that, finishing up for the year, making sure everything's in good shape. Other than that, that's about it.
Well, just make sure that both of you, if you have any issues and need something from us, that you let us know. I can't imagine showing up to that kind of call. So thank you for all you do. Yeah.
May I make a comment on the debriefings?
Ken?
The debriefings are a very, very valuable tool. They are. Sat through and held a few of those while I was chief. And it gives a person a chance to talk about it. If they don't, they still hear others talk about it, and it helps them think through it. You were around a few of them that several of the guys in the fire department were tearing up.
Mhm.
It gives them a chance to release, and that's what's important with those. So I did stop down to the station that day to tell them if they needed a debriefing to let me know, because I got to the peak where I could handle it a little more. So if they wanted me to do it, I'd come down and do it for you. So if you're having it, that's fine.
Yeah, we are. It's one of those things, as soon as that happened, it says we need to get this done, so.
And to be aware that you need to do that is a great call.
They are human beings, not robots. So.
Oh, I've been busy this month with just like everyone else wrapping up for the move, and I attended 3 different trainings in the last 30 days, mostly all election related. However, the one that I was at earlier this week, I don't, it starts to all blend together, was a combination of clerks training and with an election emphasis. So that was really good. Another one of the trainings that I went to was put on by the Kent County Clerks Association, and that was a presentation given by a deputy from the Kent County Sheriff's Department about emergency response. So I have reached out to him, and I believe we haven't had everything 100% solidified, but I think he's going to come to the new building in May and do an emergency response presentation to all of the staff. So Darla and I were talking about maybe even closing for a couple hours that day so everybody could be really engaged in that presentation. And then he can set up a time to do a walkthrough with us as well with the new building. Figured it was a really good time for us to do that. So, and then afterwards, I'd like to follow up and go even a little bit further with our election workers and maybe do something that's specific to like election day as well. So got that going on, and yeah, just prepping for election stuff as well.
And that was our city clerk, April DeSeth. Um, that's okay. Finance Director, Emily Landon.
Oh, there it goes. I don't know why I have such a problem with these microphones. I've been working on collecting 2025 delinquent personal property taxes. So hopefully we get some of those paid before we start the next tax year, which that will be starting in the next month or two, preparing to send out the summer bills. I am also preparing some budget amendments for the current fiscal year as we get closer to year end. There'll be a few things that need to be amended. So we're looking at probably May or June that you'll see those come through for approval. There shouldn't be anything major, just kind of a few things here and there that slightly go over budget or whatnot, just a few changes to account for. Also, I want to mention that we did receive our final reimbursement for the Heart of Cedar Park from the DNR grant. So with that final reimbursement, we had $300,000 go towards that project of grant proceeds. And then at the end of this month, I will be attending my year 3, my final year of Basic Institute. So I am looking forward to that and also looking forward to being done with that. So then once I'm done with Basic Institute, then I'll move on to Advanced, and that'll be a yearly thing, and it'll just be a couple days rather than a week. So yeah, so it'll be nice to have that done with.
The Code Enforcement Building Inspection. No, we've got the minutes in our board minutes. Well, move on to council comments. Mrs. Rudy.
Well, it's been a pleasure to sit with everyone here. It's been an honor. Just life is getting busy, so, and I appreciate everything you all do and have done. I had fun.
Thank you.
Powell. Let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what happened to our possible art piece donation. Did that,
It's changed. It's not a donation anymore, so I gotta.
I had my 4-year-old grandson down at the park and he had a ball. I gotta tell you, he was up and down and round and round. And it was just wonderful to watch and see him climbing and that train. He just thought that was the best thing in the world. So I'm very proud of that that's something that's in our community. I don't know who picked that out, but you sure did a good job. And sorry to see you go, Alice. And
You'll see me again. I'll be around.
okay.
Pop in and see everyone.
Recruited anybody to step in?
No, it was just kind of a last minute thing.
Okay, well, keep an eye out for another good counselor. We're going to need it. And I'm so happy that Nelson and Sand Lake have settled their differences and that they're going to have fire departments. And hopefully all that works well. And thank you, everybody, and see you at the new City Hall.
Mr. Crowe.
Short and sweet. That's the way it went tonight, and that's the way I feel. I can't express often enough how proud I am with the staff we have and the way they run the city. It's fantastic. Okay. The board that we've had, the things that we've gone through may not have seemed eye to eye at times, but you always can work through it. I hate to see good, valuable people that have come on having to leave the way they have, and I understand there are things in life. I want to remind people that I had said I wasn't going to run again, but I ran only because there was nobody running. I'm hoping you get enough people one of these days that I can step down and we'll have somebody who can fill in for me. So, but I'm gonna miss having you on as Brandon. So, okay. That's it.
Yes, we will miss you. And I've enjoyed working with you. But I do know that you have a really strong presence elsewhere that you need to step into. So we'll excuse you, I guess. The staff again, great. Fire department, I can't say enough about you guys. You're doing an awesome job. Police, sheriff, you're doing great. You know, we did worry about when the sheriff department took over. We did worry. No, it's been great. So the things that have been decided a lot of times where you don't know if it should go that way, it's great when it does turn out. So you guys are awesome. I think that we just need some people to step up. We've got openings on the planning commission, openings here now. I think something's going to go out real soon about if you're looking to maybe have a spot on this board, putting in an application. I think they're here, right? Just come in and ask, and look for information on the website, right? Okay. So we need some help, guys. So if you're got a lot of opinions about the way this city should be run, this is the place.
Yes, yeah.
With that, I'll call the meeting to a close. 7:39. Look at that.